What is going on, my fellow zombie slayers? It is Nelly B here, and today, for the first time in over a year, we're back with the Zombies Radio. Our guest here today is your hub for all of your fandom related content needs, with such hits as XXX Tentacion songs ranked, everything we know about Scream 5, and who could forget the diss track of the decade, the Rubsy diss track. Ethan, welcome to the podcast, man.
What's going on, everybody?
You
Thank you
know,
so much, Nelly, for having me. I
yeah,
appreciate it.
of course, man. That's what we're here for, dude. I completely forgot that this was even a thing, honestly, up until like after the reveal. I'm like, oh shit, I have a podcast.
Well, this seems like the perfect time to come back with another episode.
Hell yeah, man. But before we get into the reveal, I don't assume that a lot of people from my channel know who you are just because I haven't really referenced you that much. So if someone were
Yeah.
to go check out your channel right now, what should they expect?
Well, what I'm kind of trying to gear my channel towards right now is just basically like a myriad of things. Essentially, I'm kind of trying to get back into zombies, but at the same time, I'm trying to do a bunch of ranking videos. I hope that's eventually what my channel ends up doing is ranking videos, like ranking movies, ranking music, ranking games, stuff like that. Like, I hope to still do zombies content because zombies will always have it'll always hold like a special place in my heart. But at the same time, like long term, zombies hasn't been the most successful for me, so I'm trying out some new things. We'll see what ends up happening.
Yeah, man. I mean, like what you said, zombies hasn't always worked out for you. It's kind of the same for me. Like, I've been uploading for a while on and off, and that's probably why I haven't been so successful. But at the same
Mm.
time, I've tried to, reach out of my comfort zone and try and do movies, but every time I get into something like that, it just doesn't feel right. So I always gravitate back towards the zombies because it's a nice little home for me.
Yeah, for sure.
But we're glad you're back. I'm excited to see all the new Fandom Hub content. Your content is always I'd say top tier in my opinion, up there with
I
some of the
appreciate that, man.
best. But without further ado, let's just get into the reveal. We have the reveal of Call of Duty Cold War Zombies, and can I just say, holy shit. The song, the gameplay, the perk machines, it was all just so damn good. So Ethan, my question for you is, what's your favorite moment from the trailer?
Let's see. I think that the moment that got me most excited was the very end of the trailer, not because there was Jug, because obviously everybody gets so hyped about Jug. I don't
Mm-hmm.
really understand. Like, I get it. It's exciting that it's coming back, but we've known it's coming back for a
Yeah.
while, ever since like the first little teaser we heard the Juggernog theme. But
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited. I think that's probably the most exciting part is the end, and you can see that there's like kind of like a day and night cycle. It looked like
Mm-hmm.
outside.
I noticed
It's
that.
got Frank Woods and he's running through, and he's got the Juggernog machine next to him, and there's like jellyfish floating around, and it looks like there's some sort of like psychedelic type thing going on. It reminds me
Yeah.
a lot of Raven the Redwoods. I don't know if you ever played that map,
I
but
Dude, that's my favorite map from the IW Zombies.
same here, man. And that's what it reminded me of because it kind of seemed like a rave mode, like you know how like the rave mode in Rave has the
Yeah,
jellyfish floating around everywhere,
exactly. Yep.
and among with a lot of other things. But that was like the most exciting for me. I was like, okay, they're able to bring back the classic Treyarch feel with some like because at first I looked at the trailer and I was kidding, kind of just like if Modern Warfare made a zombies mode, this is what it would
Yeah.
look like.
Mm-hmm. I got the
And
same
then as it
thoughts.
progressed, I saw more Treyarch things implemented, and I honestly saw a little bit of Sledgehammer in there.
Yeah.
Like I know they're working on it, so
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited to see what all of them produce.
Raven software too, so it's supposedly
Hmm.
gonna look beautiful, especially from what we saw. But yeah, I think what they're trying to do is just take everything because zombies is such a large community now, especially with all the different games like World War II and IW Zombies, and even stuff from Extinction. I think is gonna make its way into zombies. You know, we saw the sentry guns and stuff like that. Uh, I think it's gonna be an amalgamation of all these ideas, and I'm hoping that Treyarch this time gets it right, obviously, because I'm putting a lot of hope and a lot of my eggs into the same basket. So, I mean, I'm excited. Yeah, the rave mode, I'm not sure how that's going to play in, but I'm sure there's going to be some sort of cycle that you have to do, at least for trying to find the info that they talked about. Maybe there's like a nighttime info and a daytime info. I'm not really sure though. It does look cool. That mode, I like you said, it gave me a lot of Raven the Redwood vibes. So who knows?
Yeah,
Maybe we might see the slasher again.
that would be sick. But that's one of the things I've been looking forward to the most is just that I love like how Infinite Warfare did their whole take on zombies with the whole like different time eras. And
Yeah.
my favorite being like the 80s and 90s. I
Mm-hmm.
like the rest of them, but those are definitely my favorite. And being that this Cold War game is set in the 80s, I just have been nonstop excited to see what they have to offer. Like they have so much potential just to put in all these 80s DLCs and 80s references, and they've been taking advantage of it from what I've seen with playing Tainted Love
Mm-hmm.
over the trailer. That
Yep.
was also probably one of my favorite parts because it just kind of like goes to show how willing they are to embrace this whole 80s feel of the game. And I think
Exactly.
they could do
Yeah.
some really crazy things with that.
Oh yeah, dude. Just saying that, just thinking about it makes me excited.
I know.
But
I don't want to get my hopes up because I got my hopes up for Black Ops 4. I got my hopes way up for Black Ops 4.
hmm
But
as we all
you
did.
know, I feel good about this game. Like I'm excited for it without being like expecting another BO3. But
Yeah. Same. I I would say that looking back on the previous Call of Duty games, at least from even the alpha that we played on the PlayStation 4, um,
yeah,
I saw reviews beforehand saying that it looks a lot like Black Ops 4, but it plays a lot like Black Ops 2. And I just
mm,
kept thinking about that. And it does look a lot like Black Ops 4. I think that's why I didn't really like the alpha too much. But
yeah,
the gameplay was very reminiscent of Black Ops 2 with just usually you'll go into a lobby in Modern Warfare and everybody's sniping or everybody's using SMG or something like that. But in Black Ops 2,
yeah.
even still to this day, you will find two different snipers, two different people using ARs. There's an LMG on the map, and it was the same exact way for this alpha. And I'm also very excited for just the amount of weapons that we'll have from different time periods because we've also seen that from the alpha as well, especially in zombies. I think Black Ops 2 did a great job of pulling different weapons from different timelines, especially in Origins, and that the variety is what I'm most excited for.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's I don't know. I liked the Cold War Alpha actually. Like I liked the feel of it. It felt a little bit like Modern Warfare, which I wasn't crazy about, but it also had that Treyarch feel to it. So,
Yeah, I mean, I've been a PC player for a while, and getting
mhm.
back on a controller is it's very weird to me. So that's I'm chalking it up to that. So I'm gonna be pre-ordering it and playing the beta on PC, and hopefully that is a much better feel. But yeah,
Mhm.
I regardless, I'm excited for both multiplayer and zombies. So
Yeah,
excited
same
to see
here.
what they do for that. And we also know that there's not only crossplay with the older consoles like the PS4 and Xbox One, but we also get cross progression and free maps. Now, I broke this down in my reveal breakdown, and I'm not sure how they're going to be doing this. They mentioned the Battle Pass when they also mentioned free maps, so I'm not sure if you're going to have to buy a Battle Pass in the beginning like you did for Black Ops 4. I'm assuming, and again, I'm hoping that we just get these free maps, and that also leads into another question. Does the PlayStation get early access still? Like, how
I
does that
believe
work?
PlayStation 5 has 5-day early access from what I've heard.
Okay, so they're closing the gap. I remember when Black Ops 4 came out, it was only a week for Xbox and PC, which is still too much time. Too much time for me, anyways.
It seems like they're cutting it down a little bit. One of those
Yeah.
things that you said that was pretty interesting, which I was a little bit worried about earlier on, I think I still am, was the fact that all the zombies maps are going to be free. I think what they're doing is they're going to get they Modern Warfare I think has gotten most of their money from battle passes.
Oh
So
yeah.
I'm assuming that's what they're doing here. They're making all the content free, but they're making a battle pass with really good stuff in it to like encourage you to spend money on the game.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm hoping the battle passes do well because I'm worried about the fact that the zombies maps are going to be free because with free zombies maps that means less funding, and if the zombies maps aren't well received, we're going to see a huge decrease in quality as the DLC season goes on. So that was a little bit scary to hear. I'm hoping that they get enough funding and because essentially if this zombies game fails, we're going to see zombies change drastically. Like Black Ops 4 was already a big flop and we haven't had a very successful zombies game since like 2015, 2016 with Black Ops 3.
Yeah.
Like none of the other zombies games have been successful enough to continue it
Hmm.
with enough like money as they have been in the past. So I'm really, really holding out hope that this game does well for zombies,
Yeah,
especially with like a whole new storyline.
that's something I didn't really think about was the funding for zombies because I mean, sure the maps are free, but Black Ops 4, like we all know, didn't do so well. So it's
Right.
at least for me with all the puzzles and stuff leading up to the reveal and the reveal itself, it seems as though that they're going to try and give it one last college try and
Mm.
do their best with it, but I feel like you said, if the zombies maps, if the first map or the first DLC, if they don't do too well, then I feel like you're right. I mean, by then though, would the other zombies maps already be done? I'm not really sure how that works.
Well, one thing I'm like super excited for is, their DLC 5 for this game. And I was excited for it in Black Ops 4 to be honest,
Hmm.
but seeing that Black Ops 4 just like felt so like crummy, I'm kind of glad we didn't get it in that game
Yeah.
because obviously the HUD was a huge issue. Obviously the perk system was a huge issue, as well as the engine that they based Black Ops 4 on. Like some of the maps looked really good
Hmm.
and the textures just wouldn't load in because the engine just couldn't like support Treyarch graphics for the most part is because of blackout essentially. But I think this game's graphics are good. I think that they hold up with Black Ops 3, and I feel like if they manage to pull through till the end of the DLC cycle, and they end up releasing Chronicles 2, which was teased a long time ago, and like they already have buried in transit like the full builds for the map finished. They just have to import them into this game and, match them with the graphics for this game. If we get a successful DLC season and they end up doing a DLC 5 for this game, I will be so excited because there's DLC Zombies Chronicles, the first one, included a lot of zombies maps that, like it included like one or two maps that were like my favorite
Yeah.
basically. And the rest of them I couldn't really care too much about. All my favorite zombies maps have yet to be remastered for the most part. So I'm really excited to see them remaster a bunch of the Black Ops 2 maps and have
Really?
their take on those. Yeah,
Okay.
like
What are some of the maps that you missed out on, you'd say?
um well, Transit for one, I really want to see them remaster Transit.
Yes. That's one I
Transit was
agree with.
so ahead of its time. It could have been the greatest zombies map of all time,
Hmm.
and so many things they had to add in to make it fit into the Black Ops 2 engine just kind of killed it. But if they did that map remastered into a game on the PS5 like
Oh my
that,
god.
or any new gen console, PC, whatever,
Yeah.
that would be legendary. It probably would be one of the greatest zombies maps. Like Transit would actually be fun.
Yeah.
Like if they took out like Fog and Denizen, stuff like that, they just made it look so nice. It would be so much fun.
Oh, definitely. I wish we could just go back in time and tell the people at Zombies like, "Hey man, this ain't gonna work, bro. Just work on Die Rise and then
Uh-huh.
come back to this one. Maybe you might have to just scratch it because those consoles just couldn't handle that, and it kind of sucks to see that they were just like, all right, let's fill it with fog, I guess." But
Yeah.
you said something about loading problems on Black Ops 4 for the textures. That's
Hmm.
that's something I did experience in Blackout, but never in Zombies, and that maybe because I've ever since I got Black Ops 4, I've had an SSD in my computer, and that is definitely not going to be a problem with the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox One X because or Series X, sorry. But yeah, SSDs all around this year. I've, we got to try and refrain from talking about this, but I feel like the next gen consoles are really truly next gen. I didn't feel like the PS4 was. I felt like a PS 3.5 or something like that. But I feel like Zombies should definitely play so much better. I can't really tell for PS4 though because obviously they probably ended up making it on the PS4 first and then transferred it over to BO5 or the PS5 for better graphics and stuff like that because obviously they're going to try and sell as many copies as they can, but I hope we don't have like a Black Ops 3 type of deal with the Zombies experience on the older gens. That would suck.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know. I'm excited to see their take like cuz I got a little bit of what's it called? The texture's not loading in the alpha, And I think that's just because my PS4 is so old. Because I got this PS4 basically when they came out, and it's
Oh,
the
damn.
original like 500 gigabyte version, and
Yikes.
it has some troubles with that here and there. So it might just be my console. But yeah, Blackout especially. Blackout looked terrible. It looked
Oh
like
yeah.
a PlayStation 2 game.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they ever should have gone for that. I think that literally ruined the potential of Black Ops 4.
Yeah.
It was Blackout,
It
and
was
I will never forgive it.
it was very ambitious, and it also wasn't free, so a lot of people didn't really care for it too much, which is understandable. I like it more than Warzone now, looking
Oh,
back
so
on
do
it,
I.
but it was just like Transit ahead of its time.
Yeah, I like it more than Warzone just for the fact that it's Treyarch and it's got classic Treyarch locations as well as some zombies implemented. Like
Yeah.
it seems like they put some love into it. Warzone just kind of feels like a cold, dead battle royale, and
Mm-hmm.
it's just not for me. I've never been a huge fan of a lot of the Infinity Ward games.
Yeah, same.
Seeing that my favorite Infinity Ward game is Infinite Warfare. I'm obviously not a huge fan of the Modern Warfare series. Um, although I do appreciate it.
Yeah.
I'm just not a huge campaign story guy.
I think Modern Warfare 2 and obviously IW are up there for me, but surprisingly, a lot of people are going to scoff at this, but I really, really enjoyed Ghost when it came out. Like I was having so much fun with that. I was skipping school to play it, which don't skip school to play these video games. That's irresponsible. You literally go to school on your laptop now. So what's the point? But yeah, I don't know. I'm hoping that it isn't too much like Modern Warfare because even though I do enjoy the multiplayer a lot more than I did Black Ops 4, I still don't want to see a lot of Modern Warfare tricks, and I just don't want to see basically the same game reskinned. Is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that.
That's what I'm hoping as well. I don't want Modern Warfare set in the 80s. That would be like, I don't know. Modern Warfare doesn't have the Treyarch feel to it. It just everything feels kind of like lifeless and like gray compared to like Treyarch where everything's just I don't know. I have a lot more fun in Treyarch games. I was never a
Yeah.
huge fan of Modern Warfare, although I'm thinking of re-downloading it just for the Halloween update because
Mm-hmm.
Halloween updates are always my favorite thing of any game,
Yeah.
and I'm always super disappointed to see when because Black Ops 4 I believe was revealed not revealed but released like mid-October,
Mm-hmm.
and we got like a nice little Halloween update for that game.
Yeah.
However, they are pushing it back to November again this year, which means we have to wait a full year to get a Halloween update, which kind of
Mm-hmm.
sucks.
Yeah.
Because that means you have to stick with the game for like a full year just to get a Halloween update for it.
Yeah.
Um, so we'll see. But
Well, hopefully they spoil us with a few skeleton skins or something. I don't know.
something like that, yeah. So how do you feel about Samantha making a return in the trailer?
That's what I was gonna talk about. Oh my god, dude! Yes. So I'm excited that Samantha is of age now. Let me just put that out there. But no, I'm excited to see what they do with her for her character. Is it really Samantha? I mean, she typed in Maxis on the phone, right? So
I think so, yeah.
it's gotta be at least an alternate version of her, right? And she's got to know what's going on or something. But
I think so.
yeah, definitely. Either it's actually Samantha and she's escaped and she's now like sort of a Shadow Man or Dr. Monty esque character who is in the
Hmm.
background and wants to get these people to do these things for her so she doesn't really have to endanger her life, and then she steps in front of them when their goal is completed, and she may be even part of that Omega group that we heard about.
Yeah.
But I'm mainly excited for just how the story is going to play out because the intel stuff is has really got me intrigued. It feels like um the Transit or Victus crew Easter eggs, but actually this time I'm here, you know. I wasn't there during Black Ops 2, so I'm completely lost on what that's even trying to go for. So I'm especially excited for this year to follow along through each iteration and be updated on Twitter and stuff of what's going on, and just being able to understand that story and follow it along is what I'm really excited about.
Oh yeah, for sure. Me too. And I noticed at the end of the trailer, they talked about don't be surprised if some things don't want to stay dead. I'm
Mm-hmm.
assuming they're talking about either Monty or the Shadow Man or even both. So I'd be excited to see if they, because it looks like they're actually putting the either story to rest finally,
Yeah.
and they're not actually, because they were supposed to end it with Black Ops 3, and then they just were like, all right, let's bring them back. That's what we got to do. That's the
Yeah.
only way to go. And I'm glad they did Chaos, because I think despite Chaos having a lot of flaws and not being nearly as good, I was excited to see them have a new story, and it was kind of disappointing to see them just end it off the way they did. There were a few interesting things about it, and I think that they just couldn't figure out whether they wanted to focus on either or if they wanted to focus on Chaos, and they kind of just threw Chaos to the side, even though it was supposed to be the story that dominated Black Ops 4, and
Yeah.
it was kind of disappointing. I would have rather them had like delayed the Ether continuation until Cold War and then
Hmm.
continued it here instead. But you know, like the ending was good enough. I'm not too disappointed with it. I'm excited to see them have another new take because I thought Chaos had some potential, and I think they've received their criticisms for Chaos, and they're hopefully going to create a new story that's like just as interesting. I'm hoping.
Oh yeah, and something about the Easter eggs. That's I think that's for me at least where it starts for the story. Because as soon as I looked up a guide for Voyage of Despair Easter egg, I'm like, I'm not interested. I don't want to know about these characters. I don't really care. Let me just watch the cutscenes and I'll be on my way. And I'm hoping that these Easter eggs aren't like something like in Black Ops 4 where there are a group of people who think, oh, these are easy or they're accessible or I can do these every day without any problem. But for me at least, I've realized that I'm a very casual gamer. I'm very interested in these games. I love these games and I've played them for years now. But at the same time, my attention span doesn't go past Morse code, you know. I'm not really interested in trying to go outside of the game to figure out what this thing is in order, you know. I
Yeah.
I want to be able to have a nice fun game, have these things incorporated like Der Eisendrache. Der Eisendrache is a perfect Easter egg where it just flows so well and the next step after makes so much sense from what you just did. It's like, okay, well, I'm
Yeah,
taking this
yeah.
rod down here now and I have to put the, okay, I get it. But in Voyage of Despair, I'm like, you're doing what to what now? There's a giant eye in the sky. Okay, all right, bud. What, it's a trial? There's other trials? What?
Der
Okay.
Eisendrache, I feel like should be the standard for every Easter egg they make moving forward. It's just perfect in every
Mm-hmm.
single way.
It's amazing.
I
But
honestly think Shadows is pretty perfect as well.
yeah,
I think it comes near Der Eisen.
I've beat Shadows like once, and that's only because it's a 4 player Easter egg, and I can't find too many people, especially now being on PC, who will actually want to play. So that kind of
Yeah.
sucks. But Shadows of Evil is a very good Easter egg. I did enjoy it when I was playing it, and I still want to complete it again. But unfortunately, it's a 4 player Easter egg, which is another thing I want to see. I want to be able to complete at least a form of the Easter egg by myself because I'm not
Yeah.
always going to have somebody to play with. So, well, now that I think about it, maybe I will because of crossplay, you know? So who
Oh
knows?
yeah.
That's one of
That's
the main
exciting.
reasons why I can't play is because, or can't do many Easter eggs. It's because I can't play with anybody on console. But now I can.
It's
So,
it's kind of unreal the whole age. I don't want to spend too much time talking about this, but I just wanted to mention it's kind of unreal how we're moving into a an era of every console, including like PC, can play together.
mm-hmm,
It's we're not quite there yet, but we're about to be, and that's
mm-hmm.
kind of crazy.
I saw apparently Apex has crossplay now too. So,
Yeah, I think they're doing a closed beta for it right now, and the official
oh,
beta for the crossplay opens up, I think, around the 6th, I believe.
okay.
But that's crazy to see
Yeah,
is more and more games opening up to crossplay, which
seriously.
is pretty huge.
And I know I say I hate this game all the time. I don't really play it anymore, so I don't really have any feelings towards it, but I have to thank Fortnite cuz it feels like it was the first game to really bridge these gaps even on mobile. You could play on PC with someone on
Oh yeah,
mobile, the
definitely.
Switch and the PS4. That's ridiculous. And especially them being free helped a lot. Like say what you want to say about Fortnite itself, but Epic Games is doing some major big brain thinking right now when it comes to the future of gaming, and I can't thank them enough for that. But
Yeah, like love or hate Fortnite, they've done a lot.
oh yeah, But I noticed you mentioned some things don't stay dead. I know they said that in the trailer, and it's cool to see the interpretations of it because you think it's Dr. Monty or the Shadow Man, and my first thought was our original characters and how Samantha mentions a Russian friend, most likely Nikolai. He's probably an old, decrepit man now, but that would still be cool to see him. But yeah, that the some things don't stay dead. That's a very generalized saying. You know, we're in zombies mode, so obviously he could just be referring to the zombies, or he could be referring to any number of characters that we've seen in the past who have died, like the original crew, or like you said, Doctor Monty, or something like that. So I'm excited for the twists and turns that this season is going to bring. I think they've got a lot of potential, and I'm actually excited for a story now. So that's pretty damn awesome.
My take on that phrase it was that there's no way that the original characters would make a comeback because he clearly states earlier that they sacrificed themselves to try to save the world from the zombies or whatever, and they were half right. There were still some zombies, obviously, because this story exists.
Mm-hmm.
And the voice actor, I don't know if you saw this, but the voice actor for Richtofen actually made a public statement on
Oh
his TikTok account
yeah,
that he would not be returning in this game,
that's
which I feel like would be
right.
an odd thing to do if they were going to bring back the characters. My take was just that I feel like that would be kind of like crippling to bring back the good guys and just have them survive. I think it would make sense if Dr. Monty or the Shadow Man managed to survive essentially
Yeah,
because like obviously evil things or bad guys are usually what you see coming back, not the good guys. So I think that's what they could definitely do is bring back the Shadow Man maybe to create like an enemy for this new group of characters that we have.
yeah,
I'm not sure. That's
and
definitely what I could see them doing.
yeah. To touch on that really quick, I don't. You Now that I think about it, you're right. My mindset when that was said was purely nostalgia. I'm excited. I'm seeing Jug. I'm seeing
Yeah.
Quick Revive. I'm seeing Speed Cola, for God's sakes. A lot of people, that's very underrated. I mean, we had it technically in Black Ops 4, but I want to be able to drink Speed Cola, hear the Speed
Oh yeah, that
Cola
was exciting to see all the
jingle.
perk cans too instead of perk bottles.
Yeah, so my mind when I heard that, when some things don't stay dead, I was purely nostalgia. So what you are assuming makes a lot more sense now that I think about it.
Yeah, for sure. Like as much as I'd like to see our characters come back, it still felt in Black Ops 4 like a little bit cheap. Like okay, now they're back again. Like come on, what's going
Yeah.
on here?
Mhm.
And I if they did that again in another game, like as happy as I'd be to play as them, it'd feel so like oh my gosh,
Yeah.
like
My
I'd be kind of mad.
my my thought process though when I had mentioned the four characters coming back wasn't even for like gameplay wise. It was sort of like an angel in the sky sort of thing, like thank you for
Yeah.
correcting what we couldn't do. Like this is, we've spent so long and so many timelines on this that you finally did it. You finally eradicated and cleaned up our mess. So thank you for that. And that's something that I would love to see, but again, it might ruin the ending of Black Ops 4. And I think that's one of the only strong points of Black Ops 4 is that at least the
Yeah.
Blood of the Dead ending for me anyways. I
Oh
actually
yeah, that
teared
one's a
up.
good one.
But also
The
also the last map, what's it called? Oh my
Tog
gosh.
during Toten.
Togder and Toten. That map also got me to shed a tear. So thank you, Treyarch, for that. And now that I think about it, kind of don't want him to return. Want those tears kept in that lockbox and safe in that time period. So let's keep that there.
Yeah, it's like if a Star Wars movie came out tomorrow and they brought back Palpatine, like who would do that?
Oh my god, right? But going back to the characters, it's very interesting because like you said, we saw Woods. We've also saw what looked like operators. So what I'm thinking and what a lot of other people are thinking is that we're going to be able to pick our characters from either the multiplayer or campaign as operators, and they have certain abilities, certain things that they can do around the map, which it would be very general. Not being able to exclude one character from doing a certain thing that's required on the map, is obviously very key, so I don't think that they'll do that. But maybe like a different turret or something like that. Maybe a different skin for something would be pretty cool. But my main thing is I think it's pretty interesting that they're not set with specific characters other than the informants like Samantha or Weaver, which
Yeah, that was a little bit troubling to me when I saw that. That's what originally made me feel like, okay, this is Modern Warfare if they had a
mm-hmm,
zombies mode,
yeah,
especially with the score streaks. Like, I don't know if that's gonna be like a big deal, but it's not something I was very excited about. Like a lot of other people were excited to see like a chopper gunner and zombies. I was not. Like that doesn't feel like zombies to me. I don't know. I guess I have to play it to figure out if I like it, but so far I wasn't too excited about it. Same with the whole idea of there being an end game where you can board a chopper and leave the map. Like I'm not sure how I feel about that.
yeah. I mean, right before they mention the chopper, though, this is something that's got me like really thinking about how they're gonna implement this. Is they mention an exfil system.
Hmm.
Now, it definitely sounds like coding talk. I have no idea what the hell an exfil system is, so I assumed at first that it was, oh, if your team goes down, you have the ability to get in a chopper, kill the zombies, and then go down and revive your teammates at the end of the round or something like that. But that doesn't seem like it would work in the later rounds. So it has to be a kill streak, right? I mean
I think
that's
so, yeah.
that's the only thing that makes sense to me. We got to wrap it up here soon, but yeah, I'm entirely excited. What is the one thing that you would say that would turn you away from this Call of Duty Zombies?
The one thing more than anything that would turn me away is if this Call of Duty Zombies didn't feel like a Treyarch Zombies game.
Mm,
If it felt too much like World War II Zombies, or if it felt too much like Modern Warfare tried to make a zombies game, then that would turn me away from it. If it didn't have classic Treyarch features, which it looks like it's gonna have,
yeah,
but if they rely too much on these perks for nostalgia and they don't rely on the gameplay, like Black Ops 4 for instance, like their gameplay was like not a fun experience, and that's what
yeah,
really turned me away from that game despite some of the maps being actually fun, was just the gameplay mechanics in general. And some of them really didn't feel like a Treyarch game. Some of them just felt like they were trying to innovate too much and they just forgot what their roots were.
yeah. I totally agree on that because Black Ops 4, like you said, it is a Treyarch game, obviously, but it feels
Yeah.
like there's sort of a filter on it where it's sort of I guess the best thing I could compare it to is a really high saturated color filter where they just tried too much. And I said this in a video before. I love the thought of innovation. I love the thought of trying to bring zombies into the current era, but at the same time, they got to do it a different way, and it
Yeah.
sucks not being able to know what that way is. You don't know what you want until you see it, and hopefully Black Ops Cold War does bring that for most everybody who's excited for it. Obviously they can't please everybody, but I mean, for the core fans and the new people who are coming from Warzone or multiplayer, hopefully it has something for everybody. But it's a hard balance. It's a big ask from such a small mode with, like you said, maybe very little funding. So we'll see. I have the utmost hope in this mode. So yeah, 6 more
Me
weeks.
too. Damn, 6 more weeks.
Sick.
That's crazy.
Oh, it's great. Yeah, dude. Oh, I'm
I
excited.
didn't
But
realize it was coming up that quick.
yeah, well, I think we're gonna be wrapping it up here, man. I really appreciate you coming on and talking for like 35 minutes with me. Even
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me.
yeah, even through my mindless state that I was in for a little bit there. But
You're fine, man.
so for the people who are watching right now, where can we find you? Twitter, YouTube, Instagram?
I'm most active on my Twitter, so I have an Instagram, but I hardly use it. If you guys want to find me on Twitter, it's just Fandomhub with two U's. Unfortunately, the one with one U was taken.
Hmm.
I haven't been able to get it back yet, so that's where you'll find me if you guys want to hit me up, ask me about anything.
Yep. Well, go look him up, guys, because I've been watching him for a while, and every video he puts out is a must-watch. Links for his Twitter, his YouTube, and everything else he wants down in those descriptions. I probably had his Twitter link up on screen this whole time, so definitely go follow him on Twitter, subscribe to him on YouTube. He's gonna be. I mean, the man is just digging his deep in every little part of YouTube that he can, and it's phenomenal, man. You're doing great, and I love to see it.
Appreciate it, man.
Well, that's going to be it for the podcast, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Stay safe, wear a mask, peace.